Well, Alex, ever since Bob Elliott's story surfaced, I think a lot of the perception out there is that you are unable to improve this team via a trade because you cannot take on any more salary, and that you've told other teams that. What can you tell us to actually clear the air on that?
I mean, look, Bob, one, is a Hall of Famer. He doesn't like hearing that, but he is. He does a great job. All that said, we never get into commentary about, what we're telling teams in trade talks. And again, this is no disrespect to Bob because he does a tremendous job, but everything that gets reported isn't always true. But when it comes to payroll, things like that, dollars, we always keep those type of things internal. So unfortunately, I'm not really going to say a whole lot about it, but I understand. I've seen the reports.
But you can go out and make a trade. It's not like you've been told, Alex, this is your team. You're not going to be able to add any players.
No, there's no doubt about it. We definitely have the ability to make trades. And let's say, our payroll's outstanding. I mean, people can try to, create stories, I guess, about those things. But we have a tremendous payroll. Ownership's been outstanding. There's been outstanding support, payroll, scouting, development. I mean, we've certainly spent money, so there's no excuses there at all. And I don't see any reason that if we find the right deal, we're going to be able to add players. And we're certainly actively trying to do that right now.
I think one of the big concerns with a lot of the fan base right now is they look at what's happened on this team since early June. They see that you've picked up guys like Gillespie, Reimold, Mills, but they're saying, where's that piece that's going to really help this team get out of this slide they're in right now?
Yeah, I understand. Look, we've certainly been active. We're certainly trying. I can't sit here and promise that we're going to get anything done. You'd like to, and it's certainly not going to be for a lack of having dialogue, conversations, exchanging some proposals, things like that. And we're looking to add to the team at all times. And the only thing I would say is, even if it doesn't happen at the end of July, you saw some big guys get moved last year in August. Alex Rios got moved. Justin Morneau got moved. Marlon Byrd got moved. I'm sure there's some others, but obviously those are some big-name guys. And I would expect that to be no different. So even though the trading deadline makes it easier because of trade waivers and so on, I still expect there to be quite a bit of activity in August. But we're certainly going to work all the way up to the 31st to try to add some guys.
How much harder is it for you, though, when you're missing so many key pieces and all of a sudden you're not dealing from strength, you're dealing from, oh boy, now our holes that we have to fill seem even larger to the other teams?
They are, but the guys that are out right now are 4, 5, and 6 hole hitters. They're short term. I talked to our staff last night and this morning down in Florida. Lind is out of his boot, doesn't feel anything right now. He's going to take some potential soft toss today, but certainly swing off a tee, try to swing with authority. Encarnacion's feeling great. He's getting close, and we don't think it's out of the question that by the weekend that comes up, that those guys will be playing in rehab games. So I think those guys are going to be back very, very soon, and that's going to change things. Our offense since June really has not done very well, but I think we all know when we get all those guys back, we expect the offense to be a strength of this club.
Has the pitching performances of Stroman and Hutchison changed your outlook on the areas that you feel need to be shored up the most, or is it a situation where if you can get a front of the line starter and it works in what you want to do, then by all means you're going to do that?
Sure. I mean, everybody, you always make room. If you can get a front-of-line starter, you always make room for a guy like that. There's not that many in the game, and there's certainly not that many available in trade. So they're hard to acquire, and like I said, there's not that many there. But guys like Drew and Stroh, those guys have done a tremendous job. And, certainly you give them a lot of credit. And you give, obviously, scouting department, development, and the staff that's here, Bob Stanley, Pete Walker, and those guys, you give them credit as well. They've been a big help to this club, and they're a big reason why we've been in the hunt.
I know you've said that there's no prospect that's quote-unquote untouchable if you can get the right deal. Alex Sanchez has recently been moved to the bullpen in Buffalo. If he is not one of the pieces you deal by the deadline, where do you see him within the next few weeks?
He's someone that we've talked about internally that could come up and help out of the pen. Part of that is, one, he's got tremendous stuff and ability to get ground balls. They've made an adjustment with his arm angle. They've gotten it up a little bit. His elbow is above his shoulder line, and that's given him some downhill playing and gotten his curveball a lot sharper, but he's got tremendous stuff. And he pitched 110 innings all of last year, and it's also a way to manage his innings. So we certainly haven't promised or guaranteed that he'll be up out of the pen, but we have moved him to the bullpen down there just to get him some exposure and some experience to it, that should we decide to call him up, which certainly he's in the conversation for a call up, it's not going to be completely foreign to him.
And finally, and we've known from the past, and anyone that knows you knows that if there's a rumored trade out there, that's usually not the one that you end up making. And it's so hard for you to say right now that you are definitely going to make a deal before the deadline, but do you at least have a gut feeling that you are going to be able to find a way to improve this team by getting somebody from the outside as opposed to just the players coming back from injury?
Hard to say. I'd say I hope so. Certainly not going to be for lack of trying, and that's certainly the goal. But I can't sit here and certainly promise or guarantee anything. So I bet you all 29 clubs will tell you the same thing. Even the clubs that don't feel they have a chance at the playoffs, they're still looking for opportunities to get better long term. So we're definitely going to try. We're going to always look to get better, and we still have quite a bit of time to try to get something done.
All right, well, we'll let you get back to work because I know the fans want you on the phone, not sitting here with me. So thanks for joining us.
Okay, Barry, appreciate it.